Welcome to Planet Subaru, one of the largest Subaru showrooms in the world, and the first powered entirely by the sun. Today we're introducing the latest generation of Subaru's legacy sedan. This generation began all new for 2020. Subaru generally uses 5-year product cycles on its modern volume products, so we would expect to see this car run through 2024. To aid in comparison, I wheeled around the last year of the current generation. This is a 2019 legacy. And as you look at them both side by side, you'll notice it takes a pretty eagle eye to distinguish them. This is intentional. Even though the car was almost entirely new from the ground up, Subaru knew that it had a hit on its hands with the styling of the legacy and didn't want to change it too much. That new global platform that the car is built on is much more rigid, and crash absorbing than the prior frame or chassis that the car used to be built on. So you're going to feel that in the handling of it. It's the first Subaru I think I would ever compare to a German sedan like an Audi or a BMW in terms of its ability to absorb bumps and also grip the road. It's like there's no compromise. Generally with cars that ride really well, you go over a pothole and you feel it, but somehow this car does both. Let's take a look at the engines. The standard engine in this latest generation of Legacy is a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated boxer engine. It generates 182 horsepower and returns 35 highway miles per gallon and 27 in the city. It's the same displacement as the engine that preceded it in the last generation, but it feels like it's got a little more pull from the line, and it does have a few more horsepower. Optional for the first time in many years is a turbocharged engine, and that's a 2.4 liter that we've seen in the Ascent. It's also available in the Outback. And it really changes the character of the car. It makes it feel like a big WRX. This Legacy is turned out here in limited trim, so the second to highest trim. For the first time ever in this latest generation, Subaru is now introducing a touring trim level even above this with even more features. Standard on all of these new generation Legacies is the Eyesight driver assistance technology suite. And the heart of this system is these stereoscopic cameras that you can see on each side of the rear view mirror. The system includes many features, including adaptive cruise control, blind spot detection, rear cross traffic alert, and formerly it had a technology called lane keep assist. So if you weren't paying attention, it would prevent your car from drifting out of the lane. They've enhanced that with this new generation. They call the system now automated lane centering. And what it will do is it reduces fatigue, because you can just keep your hand on the wheel and it will keep the car centered between the lanes, like on the highway where the lane markings are good. It's not designed to allow you to take a nap. In fact, there's a system in this higher trim level and in the touring called driver focus that will keep an eye on your eyes to make sure you're paying attention. And of course, if you don't have your hand on the steering wheel, then the steering wheel will detect that you're not making input. So it's not designed to drive the car itself, but to make it a little safer and make it easier to drive on the road. It's a lot easier experience than explained, so I invite you to come and take a test drive. Perhaps the most visible differences are in the interior. So now we're looking at the 19. I'll just show you kind of the general level of fit and finish. It's very nice, but in the 2020 it's even nicer. I'll point that out when we get over to that car. You'll notice the infotainment system. We never had complaints about the size of the display. It's pretty big, but the current generation is quite a bit bigger. I'll show you that next. Alright, so taking a look at the new one here, just some really nice interior features. The seats now have an adjustable section on the front of the seat if you happen to have longer legs and need a little bit of support behind your knees. I was telling you before about the infotainment screen. Look at how big that is. I'll turn it on for you so you can see it. This infotainment system is quite a bit larger than anything that Subaru has produced before, and you really get the benefit in functions such as the nav, when you can see just how much detail you get. This is about the size of an iPad, and it allows you to get a lot more information without taking your eye off the windshield and what's going on ahead of you. The attention to detail for the interior appointments is much higher than you would expect in a car at this price point. You see all that nice stitching on the dash, and it's just really nice to the touch and to the eye. We welcome you to Planet Subaru on Route 53 in Hanover, Massachusetts, to take a test drive for the Legacy and see for yourself just how nice this latest generation is. If you're too far away from us, then feel free to visit planetsubaru.com, where we have all sorts of comparisons with the Subarus, with each other, and with the competition, and a lot more detail on this latest generation of Subaru Legacy and all of Subaru's models. Thanks for watching.